I've been minding my skin, it's getting thicker. Laying my feelings bare, I listen to Dionne Fisher. I'm seeing the bigger picture, to see and believing bigger. Acknowledging gifts and all of my blessings, I'm seeing Christmas. When you see me know I could've just been a product of my environment. Wishing but not desiring, wanting early retirement. Always had direction, so I would rather be Simon. Peers would undermine it, really they just admired it.
Hi and welcome to another episode of At Your Big Age. I am Dionne.
And I'm Kieron.
How are you guys? So last week we spoke about, what did we speak about last week?
Your analogy. If the world, your perfect world scenario. Yeah,
perfect world scenario. So in another ideal world, I would really love if people didn't ask for discounts when it comes to services. So the reason why this has kind of got my goat a little bit this week is because there was a video by Harvey from So Solid, and he was complaining about the fact that barbers are now charging £30 or £40 for a trim. Now, I'm not a man, I don't get my hair trimmed, right? But what kind of wound me up a little bit was the fact of he was saying, when I was little I used to pay £7, and even when I was like on the Brit Awards and all this kind of stuff, my barber still only charged me £7. Now, So Solid days were like 20 years ago. Yeah,
he's expecting to still pay 2001 prices for
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he was saying that he should pay £7 now, but I just kind of feel like at the end of the day, inflation, the cost of living crisis, everything has affected everybody, and generally prices just go up. Like back in the day, I probably spent, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 pounds my nails, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Right? Like I now pay like 30, 35 for a refill.
I don't know what that is, but cool.
It's when you get the acrylic refilled. Like as soon as the gap starts.
It's woman business.
Woman business. But I think essentially like the conversation I want to have today is about why is it that people feel like they are entitled to some form of discount? Especially when it's like
especially when it's like
we have Bambina in the studio today. Especially when it's like if it's your friend or family.
You answered it. We're gonna dig into, but you answered it because people are entitled. Plus, people are tight. The inflation only matters when it's bills and stuff. Everybody will scream and say, "Oh my electricity bill's gone up. Food prices have gone up by 91%." It's 91%. This is the OBC today. 91%. This, that, and the third. This everything. Petrol at the pump is more expensive. But your barber can't put up his prices.
Yeah.
Or it might. For me, as a trainer, I can't put my prices up because people are like, oh, but everything else has
gone up. Exactly.
So your bills, not you personally, but your bills have gone up. Mm-hmm. So my bills have come up. So I'm self-employed. This is how I pay. This is how I pay for my life.
Yeah.
But I can't put my prices
up.
It's wild. People, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. Everybody wants. It's like it's this weird.
Okay.
Bartering. Oh, she jumped in the camera.
Sorry. Listen. I told you already. Okay. You're not to stand over here. If you want to speak, you can speak. But don't do that again. Okay? And you need to keep still. Because if you can't keep still, then I can't bring you back. Because you're cutting into our recording time right now. Yes? Lovely. Can you just repeat your point again, please?
I can't remember it.
You were talking about you as a PT.
Yeah. So for me, obviously you set your price points for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. All right, boom. But for the last 2 weeks, I've had people inquiring, and the conversation's fine until we get to the money amount. When they ask how much you charge, and I tell them you either get radio silence, which is always a funny one. Or, and this is equally as funny, people will say, "Oh, I thought it would be cheaper."
See,
like, but in comparison to what? Like, if you're, it's better you say, all right, no. If you're looking for a car, yeah. You've seen a car that you want this car. You walk into the showroom and they said, this car's on the road. Da, 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 da. At no point has anybody in the history of car buying turned around and said, I thought that would be cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? So why do you do it to people that are self-employed?
Because it's like when you go to Harrods or you go to Selfridges and you're buying a pair of Balenciagas or a pair of
there are
red bottoms,
other designer shoes are available.
Right. And you decide to go and spend your money on those things. Do you get to the checkout and say, I thought that would be cheaper?
I thought it would be cheaper. Or better yet, are you asking for a discount? Because you don't.
No.
You just give them the money. Or you say, well, that's a bit too expensive. Because not everybody's price point is for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask somebody and say, look, yeah, it's a bit expensive. I can't really afford that right now. Okay, that's fine. Because you can probably find it cheaper. It might be slightly less of a service, or you just go without. I think we've all been there where you've wanted something and you've just gone without. But people will automatically want you to give them the world
for nothing.
Or for a lot less. And you know what, as well, if we're going to be honest, some people, let me not swear, but some people they want to feel like they get something over on you by saying, it's almost like, we're going to barter now, it's like a game. So
it's haggle.
I say 45, you say 30, I say 32, you say, do you know what I mean? So then when they get to the number that they want, it's almost like a win for them.
Yeah.
So like, all right, yeah, cool, I can. And then they bounce off and yeah, they've had one over on you. But you don't do that with the gas, man.
Exactly. And like, even bringing it back to like, you know, the whole barber situation, right? Now, as far as I'm aware, my time in the barber shop, like trims can last anything from like 20 minutes to maybe 40 minutes.
Hour and a half if you got a West Indian barber that keeps stopping. It would be about an hour and a half.
But you know, like if your barber's working, you know,
consistent, like if he's cutting hair and
his hair and he's not stopping and chatting and
going for food and
yeah, like it's between like at least 25 to 40 minutes. Now, for me, I'm just kind of like, what you're getting out of it in the end is that not worth potentially £30?
But this is why a lot of people walking around with butchered hairlines, because they don't rate their barber.
Yeah. So
you're undercutting your barber. You think I'm undercutting somebody that's cutting my hair? It's mad. Like, why would you do that? That makes no sense.
And like my thing as well, like for all the men that were like jumping up and down and saying, "Oh no, blah blah blah," I'm just a bit like,
well, people agreeing with it.
Yeah. Like there were some people that were like, I ain't paying more than £20. Like if my barber puts up his
bald, they're definitely bald.
Then if my barber puts up his prices, then
I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, or I'm just gonna cut my hair myself, or
and then they end up bald. Yeah, they end up bald. They're bald, or their hairline is soft. It used to be here, it's back here now.
But it's like when you step out of that barber shop and this person has spent this time intricately getting your fade, like proper, like fine, like geometrical lines, and maybe not geometrical, but do you know what I mean? The fade is tapered to perfection.
The fade is fading.
Yeah, the fade is fading. You step out of that barber shop, and if you had hair, you'd probably do flick.
Flick.
If you had hair. So, but isn't that feeling worth over £20?
And hold on, just to go back for a second. So, because I didn't see this thing with Harvey. Right?
Have you not seen it?
Nah, I don't pay when they're not talk. I don't pay attention to them people when they talk. I skim. There's a lot of people when they do the thing where they're driving and they're speaking to. I just keep scrolling because I know it's going to be nonsense. But there's a lot of nonsense online. But most people have the same. Most men have the same barber for a period of time. Right?
Right.
So
and that makes it even worse for me.
So if you you're going to the same person all the time and they up their prices. You just pay them what they're thinking. If you're if you're a chair hopper that jumps from chair to chair, and it sounds like Harvey is, then you're just being tight. You're just jumping from. It's different if you've seen someone's work and you're like, that's not worth £20. That's different. But then there's other barbershops. You walk into a barbershop and say, look, can you cut my hair?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't go back.
Yeah, simple.
Don't be tight. People are tight, man. People are tight. Everybody wants to survive, but you don't want to help anybody else survive.
And this is the thing. It's like, and I think I made a comment about it yesterday where I was like, these same people won't pet to go to a club, get a table, buy spirits and champagne, urinate it out afterwards, and you don't say to the bartender or the bar woman or whatever, I think this champagne is too expensive. Can you give me a discount? You don't do that. Like, and you have no relationship with that bar, but yet you're going to ask, like you say, your long-term barber who's trying to obviously build a business and, you know, build a better life for himself. You want to squabble over a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
That you'd happily give and spend away just, and it's your barber that's making you look good in that same club that you're about to spend a grand on.
Do up lifestyle.
No, but you know what I mean. And the thing is, it's just like, what I kind of just want to impress upon people is that it's almost like you almost have this subconscious idea that people should stay where they are.
Yeah. So the world can move on.
But
you can't. You have to stay charging 2001 prices. But we're in 2023. Have you seen how much kids' food is at school?
Yeah.
Like, so imagine you're not going to go to the school and say, "Well, I think that the food is too expensive. My child's not going to eat." It's exactly the same thing. There's not a thing in this world that hasn't gone up in price. Whether it's jewelry, gold, petrol, gas,
everything.
So for
Tesco's meal deals have gone up. McDonald's breakfast has gone up. I only say McDonald's because, you know, these I think they're funny.
Oh yeah. I would have missed that. So if you didn't say that, then that would have gone well over my head. I would have missed that. You know.
Damn it. Okay, I should have left it.
You should have
but
left
you get what I'm
it.
saying? Like everything has gone up, and actually, I kind of feel like, is this why we're not really seeing barbers prosper?
Nah, we're not. Nah. The caveat to that, we're not seeing barbers prosper because a lot of barbers don't take it's twofold. Some people don't take the business seriously. A lot of barbers don't take barbering seriously.
Okay.
So this is why it's almost like not dying, but there's not a lot of quality barbershops anymore because the ones that are good are good. Like there's not going to be an influx of barbers in the next 20 years.
But hair's still going to need to be cut.
Because women, if I could go back and do it again, I would definitely learn to do women's hair.
Really?
What? The amount of money I would do waxes. I would do hair. I would do nails.
But would the woman come to you to get her wax done?
What?
Would the woman come to you to get her wax
I'd do it. I'd offer the service. Whether they come or not is irrelevant. I'd have the skill. I'd have the skill set. Because what you lot spend on
upkeep
is wild.
And this is my point. For men, your general upkeep is cutting your hair once or twice a week. Yeah. Now, for women, let's say for example, these braids cost me just to do £100. That's on top of the hair. Yeah. I have my nails. A refill pedicure is going to cost me in the region of what? At least £65, depending on the style that I get. That's every 2 weeks. That's at a minimum. That's not including a wax. That's not including the odd massage I like to get. Sometimes do you get what I'm saying? Like when I used to get my lashes done regularly, that was £50.
Yeah, I definitely learned to do that as well. Like, the lash thing is mad. And microblading. Mad. All of that. All we have to
eyebrows.
do.
Yeah.
I do it all. Yeah. The mustache.
Right. So
top lip hair.
You know, in comparison, there are going to be women that are probably spending hundreds of pounds a month just for general grooming. Now, someone's going to say, well, you don't need to do all that. Okay, but we want to. So in comparison, I just feel like men should not be complaining if their only personal grooming that they have to pay for is their haircut and it's £30.
I mean, I'm not paying £30 for a haircut.
Why not?
Why am I paying £30 for a haircut?
Yeah, but why
20
not?
quid. 20 quid is the absolute minimum I'm going to pay for a haircut.
Absolute
Absolute maximum.
Minimum.
Absolute minimum.
He doesn't mean that, guys.
Absolute maximum.
He said
I'm going to pay for a haircut. You don't need to pay for if you're getting because what £30 is going to give me what? Like you're not washing my hair. You're not cutting split ends. You're literally
no hot towel.
Where's the towel bin? You're not putting the towel on my face. All of that is unnecessary. You don't need to put a hot towel on my face. What for?
Someone said. Do you know what? Someone actually got a little eye infection from the hot towel thing. Yeah,
I can imagine. Because where are you putting the barbershops like the cleanest of places anyway? We're going off on a tangent, but so you're not putting. So you know how much times when I was younger, I used to go to the barbershop and get like not ringworm, but that
bumps
and stuff from the barber because they don't clean their equipment.
Their stuff properly.
So you're gonna put a warm towel, on my face to open up my pores, to then scrape off the skin to give me a wet shave, to then what? Come on, come on, man.
So okay,
and that's what the £30 is giving me. I paid £15 the other day. I went to the barbershop. I got my beard done. I got my hair, like hairline shape. I got shape up, a beard trim, and he did this thing that he went and kind of skimmed over the top and got rid of all the hairs and that, the little ones, the wild ones that were out.
Okay,
£15.
Okay, so for a shape up
and a beard trim
is how much?
£15.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's very good.
Yeah.
So if you were getting, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen you with a fade, but if you were getting
20 quid.
So if you were getting a shape up, fade, and your beard done,
25. I'd stretch it to, but that £25, that fade, I'm talking, it's got to be like 90s, where the fade you can see, like the next day is when the trim is at its best. So for that £25, it has to be chef's kiss.
Right. So how long does that take to do?
What, the haircut?
So if you were to get all of that
In an ideal world.
No, how long does it actually take?
Wait. It could take an hour. Depends on your barber, innit? It could take an hour. It shouldn't take an hour.
Okay.
No male haircut, unless you got hair like Thor, is supposed to take anything more than half an hour.
Okay. So let's say me in the middle of 45 minutes.
45 minutes max. 40.
Okay. So that means then that your barber's working for how much per minute?
Per what?
Per minute to do your hair. If you're saying 25 at a stretch, that's less. That's what, 75 pence a minute, maybe.
£1.60 a minute.
No.
What?
No. We said 45 minutes.
Yeah.
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 At
£25.
£25.
Yeah. So you divide.
Oh no! Did we say £25?
I said £25 because that's what I pay. £25. That's what I would pay. £25. Yeah, £1.60. I thought I made a big mistake on camera there, boy. I said, my heart was beating. Because someone would have said, you can't even do maths.
80 times 25 is 45.
Yeah. So £1.80 an hour.
A minute.
Well, a minute. Do you know a minute? That's a minute.
No, it's not because.
No, it's not because people spend more on
If you're making
those kind of.
If you're making
telephone
£1,
lines.
That's £108 an hour.
right?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
What? How is it not
£1.80 a minute.
Yeah, the
It's
60 minutes
in an hour.
hour.
180 times 6. Oh, you made the boo boo. Yeah, £108 an hour. She's right.
No.
What do you mean? No, she just did it. Producer Stacey, sorry. She just did it.
No, let me do this myself
look.
because I don't. Right, so hold on. So you're saying £25?
Yeah.
No, I'm not having this.
What? You done it the wrong way round.
No, it's 55 pence a
You
minute.
done it the wrong way round.
No.
No, I think this sounds more
It's 45 pence. It's 45 pence a minute.
Okay.
Right.
So 55 times 60.
£33.
What, an hour?
an hour. That's not bad either. Not like 108, but
No.
That's all right. That's all right.
not bad.
Okay, hold on a second.
That's all right.
Hold on.
What?
It's not okay.
What's not okay?
You know, barbers are standing on their feet all day. The risk of arthritis in their wrists, back pain. Oh no! But this is all. Remember, they're not getting a pen. They're not getting a private pension.
Yeah, it's true.
They're not getting all of these extra things that you would do if you worked for a company. So what I'm saying is that actually, to help out our fellow people, should we not just kind of be a bit more like, well, do you know what? It's 25, but charge, just hold another £5.
But I tell you what, do you know what? It's funny that because I got tipped. I've been PTing now for I started in 2016, right? Mm-hmm. The other day, and big up her as well because I met her I got her off Twitter.
Is it?
Yeah, she got her off Twitter. She messaged me. She's like, "Oh yeah, I need a trainer." She travels from Quay to come and do a session once a week. We did a couple sessions. First one we did. She's like, that was really good. It was really painless. I said, what do you mean? She goes, oh, I've had some really bad experiences with PTs. That's a whole other episode. But the second time she came, she gave me like an extra tenner. That's never happened before.
Whatever. In your whole time?
Never in my life have I been tipped for doing what I do, right?
Never ever. Not even.
Never, ever, ever. Never, ever. I get, oh my God, that was really good. But never have been tipped. And it's a stranger that tipped me. And the reason I say that is I try now not that I try not to train people that I know, but I'm very selective now
About your
when
client?
people that I know message me. Do you know what I mean? Like I would rather train a stranger
Yeah, I hear that.
because they like anybody,
Boundaries.
not even boundaries. Anybody that I don't know that I've told my price to, they've never quibbled. Like the ones that have stayed with me, they've never quibbled.
But that's what I'm saying. It's boundaries because of the relationship. Obviously,
Yeah. But what people that you know, they're like, oh.
But they're supposed to be supporting.
Yeah, but they don't. The people that you know are your least supportive people. When it comes to
we were saying that in the
you
car.
Yeah,
doing
literally,
things, they don't. They will see you doing stuff.
It's mad.
They don't want to. You could be doing that even when it doesn't cost any money.
Yeah.
Like people won't repost your stuff. People won't.
Yeah.
So the people closest to you, they aren't your biggest supporters.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah.
And it becomes apparent when you start charging for things. You start charging for services. Everybody expects. Same when you see people online talking about clubs when they got clubs. And people will wait till the day and message them and say, "Can I get in for free?"
Free, yeah. Like even that, like I remember, like, you know, back in the day if I used to go out with my ex and whatever, and if he knew the promoter or he knew somebody, he'd be like, oh, da. Now obviously at the time I didn't really care, but I feel like obviously the older that I've got, I'm kind of like, well, actually, this person's had to pay money for this venue, has had to pay DJs, had to do this and do that. Who am I
To get in for free.
to get in for free?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah.
I'm not nobody.
Yeah.
So for a long time now, like I don't ask people for discounts. I don't ask anybody like if someone says to me, do you know what, I will do it for you for something without me opening my mouth, different story.
But it should be the person's choice.
But it's a person's choice. Don't ask people, especially people who are trying to build something.
And you know, you see when people, I don't want to pocket watch because I don't know everybody's financial circumstances, but I find, you see the people that have the money to go out and do nonsense, they're the ones that don't want to pay you. They're the ones that don't want to pay. They won't knock the service charge off at the restaurant where the food was awful, but you're going to try and get me down to knock my number down.
But again, I think it speaks to how we value each other as people, because when it's something that someone regards as higher value, like an item of clothing or a pair of shoes or a pair of trainers, there is no question about how much that thing costs. but yet you're going to squabble over a personal service where there's more attention to detail in what they're basically doing.
My mum used to say you're gonna catch fart, but everybody's due to really start wiggling next year because people's prices are gonna go up again.
They are.
So if you are an ex garage rapper that is complaining about spending £30 on a trim from the comfort of your, I'm guessing, slightly expensive vehicle, then you're going to scream next year when it goes up again. Because things aren't going to get cheaper.
No, they're not.
Things are going to get more
expensive.
more and more expensive. So best yet, get one of your kids, teach them to cut your hair and pay them. That's the only way you're going to get a £7 haircut. £7 for a haircut. You're wilding.
It's ludicrous.
£7. You can't even buy Nando's with £7.
Probably not, no.
No, £7. You can't buy Nando's with £7.
No?
You're lucky if you get an Uber for £7.
Yeah, for real. It's true. Bambina, what do you think? Do you think that people should pay what the price is, or do you think that, you know, people should give other people money off? You don't know.
Just pay, innit? Just pay.
Just pay.
Just pay, innit?
Pay.
Just pay. Pay the money.
26 minutes. Okay, let's wrap up.
Go on, wrap it.
Okay, so that's the end of the episode. My message for you today is pay people what they are owed. Don't ask for discounts when your friend has a business in events, if they're a PT, hairdresser, because their time is as valuable as yours. And that is a wrap.
Respect the hustle.
Yep.
Respect the hustle. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap.